competition. That's a good way
That's
my prediction, and I think I might be right about that one.
You know what I also think?
What?
I think one of the teams that we're going to see tonight is going to be at least in that top 2.
Ooh.
I think we've got some really, really good games ahead of ourselves. We're not going to waste any time. We are going to jump right into things here. We're going to be kicking off with Bank. Now, it was brought up on the desk. Obviously, a new patch came out last week. I am excited already to get to cast a little bit of Siege on this new patch. I haven't touched it yet. The hard breach gadget, it is a big deal. And especially on a map like Bank. Now, we've opened up here with a Hibana ban. Nothing too out of the ordinary there. Oh, demo, no, it's happening again. I didn't get this script. Mine says something different.
It's a conspiracy. I'm telling you, if it's a no ban, I'm already wanting the walk. I want them to go.
So, we were chatting about this last night. We were talking about this last night in the lobby, and we were saying that there's a very good chance that they've just sandbagged strats up until this moment.
The NIP, we call it.
And it was the air quotes, the NIP. For anyone that's not familiar, that's pretty much exactly what they've just done recently. And we were expecting to see a serious game today. A serious, and that's not to say we're not going to see a serious game, but we were at least expecting to see bans, not just let's leave everything wide open.
Yeah. I don't know what you say about Helios. I don't know where you go. They've done it again. This is now in a best of 3. This is where you expect to see your team play some of the best Siege you'll ever play. But they went for the same thing again. I mean, is it mental warfare? Is that the kind of topic we get into? Because now HellRaisers, imagine if they start losing and they're looking at, they banned OSA and they didn't ban an operator and we're losing to them. Think of the mental toll that takes.
It's a confidence thing. It is without doubt a confidence thing. Helios coming in here and saying, look, we do not care what the bans are. You can't counterban us, and we're not even going to attempt to try and counterban you. Because even still, if they're not going to run air quote meta bans, at least run a couple of targets here and there. If the game allows you to, if you can actually get away with that. But to just not see any at all. Crazy stuff indeed. We are going to be kicking off here though now. HellRaisers starting off on the defense. Arguably the most favored side here for Bank.
Yeah, defense, we see a lot of kind of 5-1s start to roll in. I think Basement is notorious for being a very heavy defender-sided bomb site, especially whenever an operator like Kaid is open only. I mean, that can make potential Kaid trick happen, but then again, you could argue Thatcher's open, so maybe that doesn't matter as much. But then, I mean, you look at Helios, not a Thatcher in play, which was a big risk, let's be honest. And also, no Kaid from HellRaisers is another big risk, but then again, we are looking at now your open area where maybe the hatches aren't a necessity. So one change as well I would like to remind everyone that actually happened is on Bank, and that is concerning the open area. The slats in the flooring, if you go up in towards the stockroom, it's now at a different angle. So you can get a lot more clean angles onto anyone holding an open area. So there's a couple of changes there, and we'll see how it's going to be executed and see if it's going to help out.
Because a good rule of thumb used to be that the joists in the floor would run east-west or west-east, but that's now slowly starting to change as and where required. And it was a bit of a big change that was quite popular on Twitter a couple of days ago, and it really relates directly to this bomb site. Now, we're going to be seeing an opening here. Straight on in onto Banana, already looking to aggressively clear this top floor. Robbie going to kick it off with a second before 2 back in response here by HellRaisers. It's a very quick take, and I don't think that Purple's seen the guy, but yes, he does. Takes down a mission. They're flooding the side demo. We've barely seen a minute.
It's been a minute and they're already in, but then again, they don't have diffuser, and I think HellRaisers have called that out, that the diffuser is not there. There's a constant Maestro Cam feeding out information, but nobody from HellRaisers can actually capitalize on that information. Smash, he's looking to see if he sees ahead. There's a man right there on your screen, and Smash will find him. Exodus finds Purple, and it's all down to Nitro. He has picked up the diffuser, Ollie, but at what cost?
Going to try and now push his way in, gets called out on the bulletproof. There's a live ping available as well. Crossfire surely being established here. He's going to have to aggressively push on in. He's got an eternity of time to work with here. He's going to get pushed by Smash. Playing ring around the rosy here. Needs to find one. Needs to hit the turn and burn, but the double door push from Exodus will be successful. A scrappy first round demo. That could be a sign of a very exciting best of 3 on our hands.
It could be a sign of an exciting one, or it could be a very quick one with how Helios are playing. Ollie, what they went for is, you know, Risky. Very, very risky to simply just try and walk into the bomb site without clearing literally anything. I mean, how do you put that into words? I mean, to be fair, all credit to them. They got the 2 opening picks. Maybe that was the call. Let's get the 2 opening picks. Let's just play off it and flood site and play off the man count. But there was no information. We've seen what the Ronies can do. You know, what a strong defender gun, even though it has been nerfed, doesn't really show it there, does it?
No, not at all. We barely got past talking about changes and opening kills started to come on through, and it was just bam, 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 straight off the rip. Now the team looking to take this slow and steady. I think HellRaisers really put into a position where they had to react quickly, and they did so very well. They were able to get those 2 kills back very quickly. Sure, they lost the opener, but after that, it was a level 3-3, and all of a sudden they then start to rally and they're like, right, these guys are just pushing the site, we just need to play our angles. Great trade in at the end, really valuable. That could have gone badly. Very easily, that could have gone quite badly. So it was a well-salvaged round, I think, from HellRaisers, and that's the kind of pressure that they're going to be put under all night long. Helios are going to bring that heat throughout these games, and HellRaisers are going to have to stack up against it and keep the mental in check. Now, we are going to be switching sites. We're going downstairs.
You wouldn't think it, but we are.
You maybe wouldn't think it. The castle pick is...
another change. 4 castle barricades now instead of 3.
Quite an extension. 8 hits, I believe, as well.
Yes.
As opposed to 11.
Yeah, this is an interesting setup from HellRaisers. For a basement, you probably wouldn't expect that, especially whenever you've got operators like Kite on the board, who we know can be great for denying access to hatches, but they are, in fact, going to try and hold the mid-floor away from Helios. Helios are looking for a hot drop. They've just dropped into Vault. Once again, Ollie, they've just tried to hit the site immediately, but they've been shredded. A mission will catch on, finds the first kill. Purple, and in there, Smash out of nowhere, swings and finds 2 of them. Robin has somehow just walked in the server. Even though there's a mirror window looking at him, he doesn't care. But still, it has not worked again for Helios. They've tried the risk, and it has backfired once again.
These boys are playing like they've got somewhere to be. 3 versus 2. Again, we have only just seen a minute. We're now going to look at a bit of an engagement that could be happening here inside of Open. Exodus may have a chance at Robin here. I'm not sure if Robin has any information. There was a little bit of drone work going on earlier, but with so many dead on the side of the attackers, it's going to be very difficult now to really gather in this remaining half of the round. Exodus, he's got a good idea of where he needs to try and push through, but Smash, he's also rotated on out. He's going to take down the Zafir, take down Robin, and leave a lot to do for a solo pushing Dokkaebi in the garage. Rush at the bottom of those main stairs could have a little bit of information there. There is a bulletproof in place somewhere, but honestly, we've barely seen any of the sites, so I'm not entirely sure where it is. All that needs to happen now, HellRaisers, just try and hold these angles. That DMR is not an ideal weapon, and it shows. The Vector reigns supreme in the close quarters. HellRaisers pick up their 2nd round here, Demo, and again, off the back of an unorthodox push. That's a rank style push if ever I've seen it. You drop that hatch into Gold Vault, and usually you can make something happen. This isn't ranked. This is a different level entirely. We need to see something a little bit deeper than that.
And this is what we kind of expected from HellRaisers, is they're going to play... I mean, I say basic. The setup they did wasn't necessarily basic, but then again, if you look at kind of what options that gave them, if you're holding that mid floor and you're opening up hatches, it gives you, the viable option only to obviously have a bit of freedom. You can roam, which is going to be great for Bank. We know how big it is and the different staircases you can have, but leaving those hatches open, if things like that do happen, you can call everyone back in a moment's notice. They're back on site, and you can take those gunfights against those guys dropping in the vault. Not as if it was needed, because the players on site were able to do enough, but you could see that they were ready for it if it did come in. HellRaisers are ready for this type of playstyle. They are ready for it, and this is what I kind of feared for Helios. If HellRaisers are ready, it's not going to work for them the same way it worked against 86.
It's credit to HellRaisers at this point. They set extended castle barricades up in that first floor. There were guys out there on the roam. We saw drones pinging people inside of tellers really early on into the round. So the information was there for Helios. They knew that there were a couple of people off-site, and they chose to push directly. But HellRaisers did a really good job of rallying. And as the rounds go on, and if these rushes are continually attempted, HellRaisers are going to wise up to that, and they're going to go, we don't need to extend. We don't need to get ourselves out there. There's no point in putting ourselves in harm's way if all these boys are going to do is rush. And at that point, if Helios start to take a bit of a back seat and they start to go, right, we need to try and clear this a little bit more methodically, then it could work out for them.
So moving on to the third bomb site. for HellRaisers. Not looking to go for the top floor, which is a bit of a surprise. Usually that's kind of the third pick bomb site that we expect to see. But instead, they've went for the Teller's Archives. Again, going with this kind of extension in towards open area, utilizing the castle once again. I mean, castle already, we're seeing how the castle barricades can be used to block off a lot of entrances. They've actually barricaded off the window and also the door in towards Archives, so that kind of nullifies any potential maybe construction rush up the server stairs and then into server potentially. That could have been an option for Helios. They will, however, take a much more slower pace, though. I think the idea that they had in the first 2 rounds isn't working for them. They certainly slowed down a lot more. And they will begin the destruction of upstairs. So usually this is, a good position for attackers to be in, but because of the extension that HellRaisers have went for, they're in no danger at all. They've all kind of flooded out towards open area, which is a kind of place that you can't get any real good vertical action because that hatch is now removed from the top floor, so open area is pretty safe. You can see Purple starting to move in and open up those vertical angles, trying to find somebody, but nobody in a position to be given away from HellRaisers. And now it's down to Helios to see how they want to take these open area. Like, this is what it comes down to. They have to eliminate that side of the map. If they try and go for a plant, they'll get shut down by, the holes that are made inside of the walls, and they can play the long angles from the stairs. And yeah, let's just see how they try and adapt to this open area hold.
It's good to see a bit more of a considered push coming out here. Helios being given an opportunity to actually set themselves up because they're not just throwing themselves into the site. Still, a lot of information available here for HellRaisers. We can see live pings coming through. The wall has been opened into Tellers, but there could be a push on the cards. Robin, he's going to kick things off, takes out Emission, can now look to try and move on through, and the plant is going to be attempted, but it's immediately shut down. That's a diffuser cold on the ground here. HellRaisers doing a great job once again, holding on to these angles. Purple and Nitro need to look to try and recover this diffuser, but they may not be even given the opportunity. Exodus gets taken down on the flank, going for a little bit of aggression there and just caught short. Rush going to be holding the angle as well. Looking to find it through, but can't peek through the holes. He's going to have to try and make one a little bit bigger, and it will eventually pay dividends for him. Just suffering there to the angles available through those punch holes, but a bit more of an explosion hole. I think a super shorty hole was what was required there in the end. HellRaisers chaining rounds together here, 3 for 3.
Yeah, much more structured from Helios. You could see their idea was to use a vertical action and try and simply plant behind the desk, which is a bit of a blind spot. But the issue is that the vertical holes that were made, they weren't held. You look at where Rush was. How is he allowed to play in that position? Above him is open. Why is he not dead?
They didn't bring the book. They've run the book every single round, apart from round 3. They're looking to run it here, unless a 6-pick occurs. They didn't bring the book. I don't think they were anticipating the bomb site demo. I do not think that they were anticipating attacking into Archive and Tellers there, because they've been religious on running that book, and all of a sudden when they need it most, they're relying on breaching charges. Bit of a change moving into this round as well is that the Dokkaebi is no longer being brought. I'll be honest, I've not even heard a Logic Bomb phone call go off at this point. There may have been.
Not in the first 2 rounds, definitely.
There may have been, but I haven't heard it, and we certainly haven't seen it do all too much. So that makes a lot of sense. Bring a little bit more destruction, bring a couple of nades. The nade play has been extremely light so far as well. And I think that that's something that HellRaisers are taking quite a lot of advantage of at the minute. We're not seeing them bring a Jaeger. We're not really seeing them bring a Wamai. They're not worried about projectiles. They're not worried about getting naded out.
I mean, to be fair, you said Jaeger, Wamai, which are the two.
They've got the
orthodox.
Aruni.
You have an Aruni, which is a form, and even the castle as well. If you barricade off a castle barricade, first of all, you can't nade through it. And then if you want to get rid of it, you're going to have to use a nade, which would then, you'd hopefully think, would save somebody's life in that instance. So, they have things covered. I think the information has been pretty crucial from HellRaisers.
Yeah.
Also, we've seen the Maestro be brought constantly, and you can see the devastation that guy has, and I think it works very, very well considering the playstyle that Helios went into this game with, which was that quick, that aggressive nature. And sure, it happens. If you get rushed and you die, it happens to the best of us. But then you can hop on those Maestro cameras and still be useful to your side.
Regularly bringing a couple of bulletproofs as well. And this is the second round we've not seen them use both bulletproofs. Mission does still have one in pocket, but I guess it's there if required. Again, a slower push coming out of Helios here, considering their speed in the first couple of rounds. First kill, Exodus, successful. The Roni nerf demo. Did it really happen? Is it actually a thing? Because that thing still shreds.
Does not look like it at all. What a great pick. Again, it looks as if Nitro was up to his old tricks, trying to slip in towards lobby, which is exactly the way he came in last time, and he did manage to get a kill from it. And you can see that HellRaisers, they were prepared for it. They're not going to let him get away with it twice. Rush is under quite a lot of pressure. You can see them using a heap load of utility. The skeleton key, the breaching charges, opening up that Tellers and Archive side of the map. But then keep in mind, this is an open area bomb site, but maybe they're looking to try and push across and utilize that triple wall that leads in towards the small office. And that does open up the site entirely for the attackers. But with a man down, it does make things pretty difficult. I am worried where Brian is because he has the diffuser by himself. And I know last round at Helios, they struggled whenever the diffuser was cold and they had to send somebody around to go and pick it up. And it just didn't give them the site pressure, the map pressure that they needed.
Rush has a chance here as well. Robin could get caught out. He's a little bit exposed at the moment. He's essentially being held by 3 different angles inside of the elevators. Everyone from HellRaisers knows where he is at the moment, and he may not have too much to say here. Exodus picks up his second kill of the round. This is shaping up like it could potentially be a flawless, but no, Purple swings on through, picks one before being traded, an impactless kill to finish things off. For all intents and purposes there, HellRaisers' flawless round.
Yeah, and again, another round where HellRaisers not under any pressure with how they were holding things. I just don't know what to say. It looks as if Helios, they're going in blind into a lot of these gunfights. We're seeing the refrags have been phenomenal from HellRaisers. It's not even a question how quick they were able to get those kills back. Somebody dies in the next 5 seconds, Ollie, you will see HellRaisers get one back in the kill feed. Very, very strong. And trades, Ollie, we've seen it before where teams, if your trades aren't there, you're going to lose by quite a deficit. You know, we've seen games where it could be a 7-1, but those 7-1 rounds, it was very, very close.
Yeah.
Right now, this is a set, like, it's looking to be potentially a 7-1 with how things are going. And it's a clean one as well.
If this keeps rolling, it could be a very short night for Helios indeed. HellRaisers putting up a heck of a fight here, and they're adapting really well. And I think that this is exactly how you prep against a team like Helios. You've just got to prep your own game and be ready to adapt on the fly to whatever rubbish they're going to start throwing at you. Because it's going to happen. They're going to start pulling some weird stuff. I imagine when we get onto the side switch, we probably see Helios going for a couple little cheeky spawn peeks maybe. A little bit of roaming, a little bit of getting out there and just trying to find a couple of cheap kills. HellRaisers needs to be ready for all sorts of things. They need to be ready for those kind of tricks because I do believe that it is going to come through. Now, previously, when we saw this site, we did see Helios go for a vault drop.
Yep.
We saw them open up the hatch, and we just saw 2 or 3 guys jump down, and it just came to nothing. It was a mission, right place, right time. He had the heads-up play. It wasn't that difficult. They telegraphed it, they announced it, they sent the tweet, they'd done absolutely everything to say, we are going to be dropping this hatch right here, right now. I don't think that that's going to happen again, but my worry, Demo, is that when we've seen Helios take a step back, when we've seen them slow it down, they've still not had that bite. They've still not had that really convincing push. Now they're attacking into the base, but there's no opportunity for vertical play aside from the hatches. They've struggled with the vertical play. Now they've not really got that. They've just got hatches to work with. It could slow them down even further here.
Yeah, didn't really get to dig into this site all too often with how the setup is from HellRaisers. Essentially what HellRaiser has done is set up an open area which forces Helios to attack into open area. And the reason being, you know, people might look at this and think, oh, why don't you just try and take from server and be, you know, very minimalistic. You cannot plant if the defenders still have control of the hatch because there's a blind spot that you can find, which would be kind of sanctioned off to all of the defenders, you know, sitting inside of red, sitting in towards garage, but it is not hidden from the hatch. And if a defender is on the hatch, you cannot plant in that room. So that is the main issue that Helios have to take in consideration, is they just have to fight, they have to try and fight against HellRaisers.
Opening pick here, going to HellRaisers yet again. Purple is going to fall. Not necessarily had the impact that you want out of your Ash entry at this point. Slow but a certain drop down into site. Exodus, he's got the information. He's going to pop up from behind the desk. Great couple of kills here from Exodus. Picks the third as well. Can he make it 4? No, eventually does get down. But the writing is on the wall for this round. 1 Legion inside of open area, Demo. What a shift.
What a performance. And there you go, smashed with the other one. Exodus in that scenario, playing off information, but probably not the information we were expecting. He played off the sound of the goo mines.
The goo mines.
Like, come on, that's phenomenal from him. And being able to find just kill after kill after kill in such quick succession. And I think that just highlights that Helios, they cannot refrag to save themselves. They just can't. Like, how do you let that player get away from it? He is static in that position.
He didn't move.
He didn't move. All he done was crouch and stand up. Didn't move side to side. That was it. And 3 of them fell to him.
It's the C key. The power of the C key. The power of that crouch. There's a little bit more to it. The goo mine was great. He knew the placement. He predicted where the player had moved to brilliantly. He was ready for the player that pushes in from the opposite side through staff as well. Vertical pressure demo. You could have been rooted out of there. Get yourself in upstairs. Get yourself playing inside a stop. Figure out how to do it. We've got a great action replay of it here. We just come in just after the goo mine pinged. But Exodus, brilliant couple of kills here. Picks one, picks the second. Ready and waiting on the third. Bish, bash, bosh. Easy stuff. I'm not sure how that last player on the side of Helios didn't finish him off, because he was stood up and exposed for a little minute.
Potentially some missed shots, but
we wouldn't like to call.
Luckily, we didn't. For his sake, we didn't get to see them. But who knows? Who knows what happened? And well, HellRaisers 5-0, 5-0, and it doesn't even feel close.
We've been going. I feel like we've been going for about 5 minutes.
We've been. Let me see the time. How long have we been talking for? About 20 minutes.
Speed running this best of 3 so far, at least map 1 of it. There's a lot of time for that to change. We're anticipating Bank to be very defender-sided, although with the changes, there is potential for that to change, especially given how open the field is here in terms of bans, given we've only really got 2. So that's not something that is a guarantee. Helios, they're going to go for their trademark rush and push. Dokubi call is ringing out, but there's information available this time. Robin not able to try and push on through. Can't go up against that Alder, and he's now concerned about players on a bit of a rotation. HellRaisers still not looking to aggress onto this, though. They're happy to take that back seat. They're getting caught out on the Inox tracker, but that really isn't something that's concerning them at the moment. The shock drone goes in. That's probably going to clear out a little bit of utility, maybe disable the Maestro camera or not. Nay, going to pick up their first kill of this round. A mission immediately there with the trade. Second logic bomb comes in. We're now starting to see this utility slowly but surely used, but it's not always doing that much. Bit of an unlucky timing there from Brian on the vertical. HellRaisers still with an opportunity to drop and make that rotation if required, but they're doing a great job of holding on here.
I mean, Purple is in the site right now, but doesn't really have anything to play off except Exodus giving himself up, but then again, that is vital information. For HellRaisers, they know that they're in the bomb site, but they are not giving them a chance to plant right now. Brian will start to go for the defuse. And will he be able to stick it? Will anyone from HellRaisers be able to stop him? Nitro will hold on, and it looks as if Helios might be on for their first round. A 1v3. This has been their best chance and a mission. He is the new player to HellRaisers. Can he come up with a big clutch?
Looks like he's got a little bit of information to work with. The smoke was fairly kind to him there. He's going to dodge out from the first stun, pick up his second kill on the round. He's got live ping information. There was a camera inside his sight. He's going to pick up his third. Fourth and final kill required, 20 seconds. He has time to make this happen. Purple sitting back inside a square, watching onto the plant. Doesn't really want to give himself away. A mission, he's going to have to try and make this happen. The pre-fire comes in from Purple, but he's missed. A mission's going to stick this. Purple, you've got to try and hit the shot. No. He's not going to do it, Demo. What have we just seen?
What's going on? How have you let him get away with that? He has just robbed your round right in front of you.
My. What a game we have on our hands. Match point already for HellRaisers. Someone better call Ian, because this could be quick. He might be in the back with his feet up. You never know.
HellRaisers are sitting with their feet up. 6-0. Just, wow. Just, yeah.
Big confidence boost. What a great clutch from a mission as well.
Just.
That's that experience showing through.
Information again.
Information
I think
has been key.
Vital again for HellRaisers and Helios. You know, we're seeing them bring the Sophia. We're seeing them bring, obviously, the Ash a lot. Why is that utility being left up?
The Maestro camera that assisted a mission in getting basically that round win. Killing the Nomad inside of Tellers. The Nomad was playing right in front of the Maestro camera, and it wasn't hit. Just hit it. Just take one, like a split second just to hit it and block it out so it can't be used. You don't need to destroy it. You just need to smash the glass. Please, that one thing alone could have been the difference between that round going to HellRaisers or Helios. But here we sit. Here we sit. A match point for HellRaisers to put them ahead inside of this best of 3. We do have 2 maps remaining inside of this series if required. Villa and Oregon. Although, if it continues to go this way, it's looking relatively unlikely that we'll see Oregon.
And keep in mind, Villa is HellRaisers' pick. This is the map that we expect them to quote-unquote dominate on, but maybe Bank was the map that they're supposed to dominate on. It's definitely being proven. You can see straight away the change-ups that we're seeing from HellRaisers. They're bringing that Zero with the hard breach gadgets almost in form of the Habana. You know, Habana is solely brought for Bank because it's great for opening the hatches to the basement.
It's true, yep.
That is literally what the Zero can do. But then you're still bringing the Maverick, you're still bringing the Thermite for the server wall. You still have other options. Keep in mind, if you're against Helios, you said that they might be able to get away with some things that maybe they shouldn't, such as spawn peaks, some runouts, you know, something cheesy. You still have that security, but it doesn't look as if their tricks are going to work against them. Exodus has got the opening kill. He's found 2 for himself. Down goes Robin also. And Helios, they've went for this aggressive roam game. A lot of them are roaming. Ollie, not a single person is really in the site right now.
That opening kill has been critical as well. And quite often when we see someone from HellRaisers pick 1, they'll get 2 as well. I'm not sure if that's more to say about the positioning from Helios or if it's more to say about the positioning from HellRaisers. They've got to be there for you to be able to get the kill, but still, it's very, very impressive indeed. Now, we are going to find ourselves level. Nitro's going to grab one back. Just approaching the halfway point of the round, still looking to gather this vertical control. There's not that much to make any more with at this point, seeing as a mission has been taken on out. Still, bit of utility available. 2 nades on the side of Exodus, exothermics for flares, and of course the blowtorch and the nades on the Maverick. Still plenty of tools here to get the job done. 4 drones as well. So opportunity to now start to gather this information, just take a little bit of the pace out of the round. Exodus, I'm sure he just saw the foot there. He's going to look to try and pre-fire on through. Nitro needs to try and get himself out of dodge, but Purple's still inside of the elevator. He could come up with a ruck of kills here. Excuse the pun, but no, he's going to get taken out. What a turn, what a challenge demo.
I don't know how they're losing these engagements. HellRaisers winning their fights, landing their shots, and now they still have about a minute, Ollie, which is still more than enough time to figure out what they want to do. The only real thing that I would say that is a bit of a shame for HellRaisers is that they're not going to be able to get really the best utility out of the Zero. I'm sure the Zero camps would have been used around this stage to gather information and see, you know, positions and sites, see how many people are playing, you know, in towards red, which is kind of the key highway for a lot of defenders for this basement. I think we're kind of looking at Exodus again, Ollie, to really be that spearhead for HellRaisers. I mean, what a game he's had. 11 kills and 3 deaths so far, and he can definitely get a host more.
Well, the smoke's come in now. Nitro going to kick things off with a kill onto Exodus. Rush, he's looking to try and pre-fire on through, but he's going to miss his shots. He's lined up the second, but no, misses the one tap, eventually finds the kill. Nitro's going to be down. It's all down to Nate. The C4 comes out as a desperate attempt, but the plant is going down. Pre-fire through the wall for the second time. Not again. The plant will be successful just in the nick of time. Pistols being drawn, but flares to finish things off. HellRaisers, what an opening map we have just seen.
That's how you make a statement. That is how you come out of the doors absolutely bouncing to get your season underway. I mean, just wow. Wow. That's all you can say. Just wow.
It's a serious display of skill from HellRaisers. Exodus there, what a pop-off game he was able to have. So